Hello, everybody. My name is Dawn Block. I am your host on this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. And I'm wearing red because it's going to be Christmas soon. So this is the last one of the year. And I just want to thank everybody for who has joined me throughout this year on my episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. But most of all, I am excited about this show. And I also have to go through my housekeeping items. I see a little bit of thumbs up, so somebody already possibly knows what I'm going to be talking about. And it's all about the follows, the loves, the likes, and people's participation. And that's what I love. That's why I love doing this, because we get so many people that come in, chime in, ask questions, talk about, get to know the business and the person, the owner who I brought up and that we're talking about, or whatever nonprofit we're talking about, just to kind of get familiar with them, their backstory, and why they are doing what they're doing. So this is an exciting time. And again, it's my last one of the year. I can't believe it. My next one's in January. And again, I was supposed to get the date and I forgot, but I apologize for that. But you'll see it. It's coming up in January. So love, likes, and comments. So what I would really like is if people would chime in and let me know who's out there, who's listening, and so we can introduce some of you guys who are out there in the audience. And what I am going to do is I am going to introduce my special guest. Yes, she is a wonderful person. She's everywhere. She's in different Rotary clubs. She's, I think, in the Schaumburg, the Hoffman. She really gets herself around in the community. Her name is Wende Walker. She's with Minuteman Press out in Hoffman Estates. So welcome, Wende. I am so happy that you're able to join me on this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block.
So thankful you're having me.
Yes. So we're going to take some time and we're going to get to know Wende. First off, I'd love for Wende to just let us know your contact information, your name of your company, where you're located, all that great information. If you could let us know a little bit about that, I'd appreciate that.
Sure. Our shop is Minuteman Press. It's obviously Hoffman Estates. We are lucky to be almost on the corner of Barrington and Higgins Road in the Northwest Community Center. Our corporate center, I should say, so sorry. And our phone number is 847-839-9600. We have a funny email, so it's literally the word email at minutemanpress.com. And last but not least, it's he.minuteman.com for our website.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving us that information. And for all of those who are viewing this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block, the information is actually scrolling at the bottom. So you're more than welcome to take down that information and connect with Wende after the show, or not before the show, but at least after the show. I just don't want any interruptions while we're going through this interview. But after the show, please feel free to get in touch with her. So I'm going to start off with our first question. We want to get to know you a little bit better. We know what you're doing now, but we didn't know what you were doing in your past. So we've got to get the juicy gossip on it. So can you tell us a little bit about what was going on before Wende was the owner of Minuteman Press?
I have a creative backstory. So my extended family that I lived with owned a campground up in Volo. And they owned it for 85 years. They have now sold it this year. And I was fortunate enough to spend 18 years working with them, obviously, in addition to other things I did, because I never do just one thing. I spent 18 years there, managing, working, doing
So what were some of the things that you did? And it sounds pretty exciting to be on a campground. I mean, you probably met a lot of people coming in, going out. And what did you actually do there?
I could tell you the most creative thing was there was a yellow dotted line, kind of like in the middle of the road. And I would paint that every April. And depending on the weather, I'd be in my bathing suit to my snowsuit.
Oh my gosh. That was just to divide the line down the middle of the road?
as irony would have it, it was actually to direct people to the office and
Oh,
back to where the main campsites were. So
oh, how fun.
confused and didn't get off the beaten path. It's 625 or yeah, acres.
Oh,
So
wow.
pretty big.
Yeah, that is big. That is big. Now, did you spend the night? Did you ever spend the night there?
Actually, I lived on the property. So I
Oh
did have my
my.
own trailer, and every summer I would move into the trailer. So between mowing lawns, raking leaves, I put up tile in bathrooms. I can't tell you how many things I've painted over the years.
Oh my gosh.
And then obviously making food, doing reservations and bookkeeping and just the basics of that.
You're the jack of all trades. You did everything. Oh my
I
gosh.
did.
How interesting. So we closed that up this year. So what else were you doing? What other things are you a part of?
In the middle of that, obviously I had gotten my degree and my graduate certificate, but I went on and changed totally and became a flight attendant.
Oh wow.
And so as we speak, I still am a flight attendant of 30 years.
30 years. So what do you like about what do you like about being a flight attendant besides being able to travel anywhere and everywhere?
Well, I've been financially independent since my early teens. So, with that being said, I've gotten to see a lot of the entire world pretty much that other people haven't seen. I've seen every
Amazing.
state. And then, of course, experienced very many ethnicities and people.
So what state do you like the best?
I'm probably more on the Montana,
Oh wow.
that type of, I love the scenery. It's quiet and there's not so many people.
Yeah, no, that it sounds like you're right. I mean, with this, I've never been there, but I've heard a lot about the scenery. So yeah, wow, that's amazing. So, was there anything else that you want to add? Any other scoops type of items that we need to know about you?
Well, we could be really creative. Um, I did used to repo cars in my
Really?
early 20s.
That's
Um,
interesting.
yep,
Kind of like
that's
the Repo Man on
yep.
TV and all that stuff.
In the
Have
middle
you?
of the night, I stole your car, yes.
Oh my
Legally.
gosh. So, I mean, what it was probably from that job. Give me a weird story that maybe came up.
Honestly, thankfully, I don't have a lot of weird stories. The bad
Oh,
things
that's
never
good.
really happened to us, which is
Oh,
good.
yes, that is good.
However, from friends and knowing people, I had a friend whose family owned a garbage company. So the gentleman we had to steal the car from, or take the car back, I should say, not steal, he worked for the garbage company. So I told the guys as we had been up all night, I'm like, he won't be there till 6, but he will be there at 6. And that's how we got the car.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, so let's see. Now we've got you've done a lot of things. So now what was that moment? Like what was that transitional period that you came upon where you're like, okay, we're gonna open up this business, Minuteman Press over here and the location in Hoffman Estates. I mean, what was that wow? Like, okay, this is it.
Well, it's strange. Obviously, I worked for my family for 18 years. Unfortunately, I'd been in a severe accident, so I had stopped working for them. With all that being said, I was a flight attendant, things were moving on, but the money wasn't there anymore. And now I had older children. And I'm
Okay.
hearing a lot in the past, like, you've all heard it. Jobs aren't there, careers aren't stable. And I kept thinking I wanted a stability for them. I wanted something that I could count on for maybe me. And after 30 years, you kind of sometimes want to change.
Oh
So
yeah.
I started looking. And as irony would have it, my trip over moment was I was in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I used to go in this one shop. It was this trendy little tea and spice shop. And I was in there so much, I signed up for the rewards. As I did that, it said it was a franchise. I went, huh? And so I started looking into businesses. And Minuteman Press was one of the businesses that was at an expo for us. I tripped over it. I did the numbers. I listened, went to many, many of their presentations, just asked my regional manager. And with all that being said, it was the fit for us.
Wow,
So,
it's like fate. It just kind of came right to you.
yeah.
How amazing is that? So,
So,
so now so what was, well, obviously you knew that, okay, this was the store that I wanted to open, but how did you pick the location that you're in right now?
as irony would have it, I wanted it at home in the town that I was raised in, that I currently now live in again, the ones my kids go to school in. And my fiance, Christian, who you'll meet when you're here, and many of you have already met him. When they came with options, Hoffman Estates was one of them. Apparently, this store had been open since the early 2000s, and latest event apparently had closed months earlier. And the corporation wanted the store to open again. So our manager came to us and thought we were a good fit for this location and this store, and the rest is history.
Wow. That's an amazing story. You've got a great background and so many different things that you've done. So let's talk a little bit about Minuteman Press. So who's the main clientele that you work with?
A lot of what we do is business to business, whether it be the large business or the small business. But we do have the chunk of the regular individual family member, sole provider, whatever it is they need their holiday cards, for example.
Right.
So we do, a majority is our business to business, but nobody is out of play here.
Oh, and then so I remember I told you I'd interrupt. I'm going to take a little moment here, and we're going to see who's out there. And I see. Remember I told you there's a little red button. Well, it popped up, so I'm like, well, we have to stop. So okay, so here we're going to show our first guest, Chris Black. Looking forward to the show. That's my husband. He's always on. So thank you very much for joining us, Chris. And the next guest is Janet Zajac. She's joined up. It's my mom, actually. She goes, I see you. I see you. Well, I don't see you, Mom, but I see that you're here. And thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. So let's continue. So, what is the client experience like when they come to Minuteman Press?
We have, I would say, two vastly different experiences. The general overall is the same, which I pride in communication. One of the things that I've learned growing up and being with my family business is communication. You, as the customer, don't know that I'm having a challenge unless I tell you. And what I've noticed, especially by myself before we own this business, is that most of the time, if that client knows the challenge, it's usually not a problem. They just need to know. And so I pride myself in a lot of communication. We have people that will come in. They will say, this is what I need. This is what I want. I have my design. I have everything I need. It's perfect. They send it over to me. I then go, Christian most of the time will do this. He will do the quote for you. He will mail it to you. And on that quote is a QR code or a link in which you pay your deposit. Once that deposit goes in, we put it into production. We have a typical, for in-house items, typical 3 to 5 days. What we have found is we tend to work fast here. So
that's good. Quick service.
We've got the buffer of the 3 to 5 days, but a lot of times we don't need it, depending. And then up to 2 weeks if we have to utilize other larger Minuteman for some of the larger items that we need. And again, communication. If those 2 weeks come and go and I still haven't seen it and I'm looking, you're going to know. You're going to know that I've looked, that here's what I do know right now. And, stay tuned.
So if you don't mind me asking, I'm going a little bit off of our script, but how many people do you have working at your job site?
As we speak, there's 3 of us.
Okay.
My graphic designer, Christian, and I. We are looking to, in the future, take on 1 to 2 more, and maybe part-time, because we're looking to open up and expand.
Oh, okay. How awesome is that? That sounds really exciting. Now, we're going to be talking about what is the importance of graphic design. So, and I know that I know, would you like to talk about it first and then have me pull up the form, or
Yeah,
would you like me to pull up the
pull it
form
up
now?
and I'll do both.
All right. So why don't we do that? We actually have a form here. I'm going to add it to the presentation. I hope that you can see it. Let me remove the banners let me remove this. Maybe that way people can see the whole form. So Wendy, the floor is yours. Go ahead and explain away.
Graphic design is crucially important when you're doing an important print item. I never knew how important, because like most of us, we've gotten on our computer, we've created it, and we're like, yay, I should print it. It should print. And now that I'm in the business, that isn't as easy as it sounds. So I've had my graphic designer make up this list that you're looking at, and I'll go over it to give you some tips, because if some of these things aren't done, well, I have to have him do it. And time is money, unfortunately. And, he has to be paid for his time, and that has to be added to the job if you can't do it. Now, on the flip side, if you have no idea, you don't have anybody you're working with, you have never done this before, but you have ideas, then I can hire him for you to do this for you. And then that way, when we print it, it's already done. So going through this list, the short version is a lot of things like Canva, they have text, and you want to pick the cool font. It's not just that italics or whatever, but I may not have that text in-house. So we need to know that text is embedded in the PDF form that you send me, or that you send me that font if you have it. Fonts are changing constantly. So, we're only subject to what we have access to. So sometimes we need yours too.
What is the most used font?
What is it that typically the Arial
Okay.
is, because it's the most straightforward and bold type look. I know there's different ones with word programs and stuff, but that tends to be the most clear for us to utilize, in my opinion. Now, other people find different items. I do have to say, from my opinion, with print, script, although looks good, doesn't print well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it cursive, although looks great and it's beautiful, depending on its level in the font, it's a challenge with printing. It's hard. It's just hard to focus on and read.
Okay.
So it really depends on what you're looking at. And again, the challenge we have is when you're looking at it on the computer, that's not what will come out on the paper all the time.
Wow.
So
That's amazing. That's kind of, I never would have thought that, but I'm glad that you're bringing that up.
yeah, and that's why I had him do this sheet, because I didn't know these things. So I sure don't expect anybody else to know it. And sometimes these cause controversy and challenges with patrons because they don't know that seeing it on the computer is not what it'll turn out as. And I want you to have your best quality. This is your business. This is your logo. And I want you to be able to sell it and it look good. And the only way to do that is to follow our criteria. So
I think that's a great idea. Putting together a list is great because it's prompting everybody prior to them handing in whatever job it is that they want done. So I think that's, it's always helpful to give information in advance so that they understand what you're looking for.
Yeah. And so just to dance through it, obviously we touched on fonts. If you do a Canva photo for program, Canva's great for internet, not necessarily for the printer. Part of the reasons is you make the picture in their file, and their picture is 4 by 6 inches. Now you want a banner that's 6 feet by 9 feet. I can't stretch that out and make it look good. You'll see it pixelated. It won't be what you want. Some people don't care, but most people do. So we've got stuff like that. We also have things like there's called what they call RGB colors, which basically means this is the color online, but like your regular printer at home that has the C, the Y, the M, the K colors, that's what we use to print with. So we need it transferred into those colors so that it comes out the way it's supposed to. And along with colors, obviously, there's these things called PMS colors. So you've seen the Coca-Cola red or the McDonald's colors. Well, those are specific codes and specific colors. If your corporation or your logo has those colors, I need to know that. Sometimes there's a small additional fee involved because we have to get a hold of and make sure it's right so that that color is exactly what you need. And I just ran into somebody who she had business cards made and she said visually she couldn't tell the difference, but her corporate did.
Oh, wow.
So these are things. Stuff like you send me a file with a PDF and you have 6 separate photos. Make sure those photos are actually embedded in that PDF. And if not, please email them to me because you want them in that picture or that flyer, and I can't make them be there if I don't have them.
Yeah.
So just stuff like that. Another one is bleed. And for easy's sake, say your flyer has blue all the way to the ends. Well, in order for me to get that to print correctly, I need another, it's 0.125 inches. So very small margins on either side. It's kind of overflow. So it goes past, say, the 8.5. Instead of it being 8.5 by 11, it's 11.25 and 8.75. That way, when I print it, you're not going to have a white border.
Oh, okay.
It will take color all the way to the ends. So for layman's terms.
Yeah, so many little so many little things that you have to remember.
Yeah.
Like you said, we go in Canva, we create something, but there's certain stipulations so it comes well on your print products, like you had mentioned. So This is great information. Is there anything else that you want to add to this?
Well, actually, there's a thing too. Say you hired a designer, and you may have hired them 10 years ago when you started with your logo. And there's a thing called flattened files. And files, depending on how they're created, have layers, just like an onion. But those layers allow me to make changes. And then all together, they make your design. Now, if all of this is flattened together, guess what? I can't change it.
Oh.
So I have 2 problems. Either we now have to fix it so that we can change it, or you are able to go back to your designer and get the file and they can unflatten it, so to speak, and get it back to me.
Oh, interesting.
Now,
I would have never thought that. I mean, that's not something that I'm thinking of when I'm putting together a design.
Right.
So, okay. So, does that have something to do like if you're in Canva and you unlock or lock the picture together? Is that okay? So each individual thing is what you're talking about.
Yeah, and just like pixels, when you send me a photo, I need a certain DPI or resolution. Which is about 300 is what they consider it. So the deeper the picture and the closer the pixels, so to speak, the better it's going to turn out. I can take photos and say they've aged.
Yeah.
I can revert them back. We do have a program for that. So that's good. But there's just idiosyncrasies. So I want people to know, because sometimes they don't understand the depth of my challenge. They just think they can send me the picture on their phone and it'll turn out perfect.
Right.
And not necessarily all the time.
Well, Yeah, this is great information. I mean, it's a great guideline to give your clients so they are kind of up to speed on how they need to present their information over to you so that you can print it correctly
Yeah.
and make it look good too.
And last but not least, some people don't understand the screen that you have in front of you has a white background. Again, that doesn't necessarily transfer over to a piece of paper. So if it comes down to it, for a very small charge, we can make you a print and you can
Mhm.
come in and look at it. And we have a client that we're currently working with. They're making sleeves, is what you call them. They basically cover his box for his product. And it came to us because he was tired of not getting what he wanted. And he has come in over and over to make sure we have it right. And you know what? He's happy.
Well, that's the most important thing, right? You want a
Yep.
happy client.
Yep.
Wow, this is awesome. Well, this is great information. So, what is there anything else you want to add to this?
No, that's basically the kind of in a box. Cute.
Awesome. So, and I'm sure that you would be, if somebody wanted more information or your guidelines for sending in print, you'd probably be happy to send them that
Oh, yes, definitely.
information.
Because knowledge is power.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Now we do have, before we jump in, we do have a slideshow that we're going to show. I know we're giving you so much information about Minuteman Press. You guys are going to be blown away. So hold on, we do have a comment, and hold on a second. Oh, my mother. She goes, you are very creative, which they are. They have to be, right?
Thank you. We appreciate it. In fact, I can tell you how creative we've become. Lately, we just bought what they call a 3D printer. So I don't know let's see if I can get this. See that boat? This is my boat.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well, we can make this stuff now.
Oh, is that crazy?
So I can make phone holders. He's now made me a holder for spoons, like by your stove.
Okay.
He made that today. He made a vase. We gave it to our president of the chamber.
Ah!
So they're learning really quick, and pretty soon there will be a clock man in our fish tank up front. So
Oh geez, wow, that's amazing. I mean, and that just goes to technology is changing every day, and
Yep.
even in your world, it's changing every day. So that's pretty amazing. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring up Wendy went all out. She wanted to do a presentation, so we are going to be pulling up a presentation so that you guys can see exactly when it comes to creativity and design. All of this is what Minuteman Press is all about. So let's pull up your presentation. The coordination of the host, he has to kind of get together here. Oh, and you know what I told you? Geez, you got to be at the beginning of but that's okay. We're going to start from the beginning. So what we're talking about is put a little life in printing, design, and creation, and that is what Wendy at Minuteman Press is all about. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next screen, and what we're talking about here is your logos and actually banners. You do banners. Tell us a little bit about the banners.
Well, in the middle picture, you'll see the banner with the girl running. So we can do banners anywhere from the ones that have wind slits so that obviously the wind will go through them. It won't blow it over, to the ones that'll go up and hang. I think we made one that was 80 feet by 60 feet for a school to put on the side of their school. That's how big it had to be. But in addition to that, businesses have many things they need so that you as a patron know they even exist. We can create your logo. Obviously, that's my graphic designer. Or maybe you have your logo. So I can make signs, the stickers for your window, your cars, your vehicles, which is your car, obviously, your windows, your floors, your walls, any flags that you may or may not have.
So do you do like realtor, like those, do you do open house signs? Do you do like those banners, open houses for different realtors?
I do.
So do you have the colors for each like real estate company out there?
Well, most likely you have your logo.
Yes.
So if you transfer your logo over to me, also your corporation always knows your PMI colors, and your PMI colors will then give us the color that needs to be specifically.
Awesome. Wow.
So it is that simple. It sounds challenging, but it is really pretty easy.
Oh, cool.
So for example, I know as realtors, you can put anything from the 2 stake little signs that you see, and you'll see a lot of them during elections, for example, or
Yeah.
maybe open houses for some of the new developments on the side of the road. We can do that to anything that's a sign that will go on the side of your building.
Oh, okay, great. That's good information. You also are a part of Every Door direct mailing. You do QR codes, graphic design services. So go, elaborate a little bit more on that.
We are fortunate to be part of the post office with our division, so we do direct mailing. EDDM is considered an acronym, obviously, for Every Door Direct Mail. So if you've ever seen that mail that's come into your house, it's about 6 to 9 is usually its dimension, 6 inches by 9 inches, and it'll say postal company or postal customer, local resident, patron, whatever, something generic. That's what they consider EDDM. And I can send that to any zip code. So say, for example, there are 3 zip codes in Hoffman Estates.
Yeah.
So we can take it down to, for you, for example, I want multi-family households. I can take it to condos and apartment buildings, that type of thing. Or you're looking for single family residences. We can maneuver it in that way. On the flip side of it, sometimes because there's no way to track that mail, now it is more reasonable. Postal prices for me are different than the normal person. And a lot of times there's quantities involved that have to be met in order for that price to be made. But there's also another side to this, and with EDDM, sizing is a big factor in what this looks like. Unfortunately, as a printer, I charge you for printing, but then the government gets their postal fees, and that's a totally separate bill. And I apologize, but that one definitely has to be paid first. Again, going back to direct mail, that means I can go and take my postal stamp, and you'll notice the little stamps in the corner. They'll have postal customer numbers, and I can take that and put addresses and names and go to specific homes. Those are trackable for us. So you'll be at a lesser rate than what you normally pay. But you're limited to a certain amount again, but the sizes can be smaller. It can be as small as a postcard, and it's trackable. And for some people who are trying to run statistics for their business and see what's working and what's not, it works. The rule of thumb is if you're doing a mailing service, we do say that usually it's 90 days or once a month, 3 times to kind of, the first time everybody's like, oh, okay. Second time, like, maybe I should look at this. And the third time, like, okay. And the beauty of it is I'm able to put a QR code on it for you. That's not an additional fee for us. We do not do that. I do know people who do, but we're not one of them. And the QR code will say, go to your personal website, or maybe you want it to go to an event if it's an event item. And again, graphic design services, we have him available 24/7. So we can take him.
Great. And this is awesome. And especially too, you take the work off the person and you can handle the whole thing. So we can do what we do best and you can do what you do best. So that's great. Right. Great information. So you have a program called Personalize It. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I love this program. And part of the reason I love it is, Dawn, you know as well as I do, back in the day, you could walk down the street, you could go to a store and say, hi, I want one shirt. And you can't really do that anymore. And we don't know why, and I'm not going to figure it out. However, my corporation finally took a look at what we'd all as business owners had been asking for. They came up with 300 choices. Now, if you go to my website at Hoffman Estates or he.minuteman.com, you'll find a place on the right. Everything obviously has its little tab, but one of them does say personalize it. And you can go in and you can design your own items, just step by step, follow the directions, or you can input things. Again, there's choices. So if you're going to design it, that means you're creating from the beginning. Otherwise, the other choice, although I can't say offhand what that choice is, but it's another choice. You have 300 items you can choose. So maybe you want, for Christmas, you need 2 mugs for mom and 6 notebooks for girlfriends and a hat for your husband. And you can do that. Versus when you go through us, you might have a minimum of 25 or more that you have to buy of the same hat. Now, hypothetically, you go in and you do this, it will automatically tell you if whatever you're ordering is too many, contact us. Because it would probably be cheaper for us to then do it than to keep going. So then we will bill it out accordingly, and we then have things we can work with. But it allows you to do that 1-off, that 2-off. So you can go to us and now do that versus finding somebody else. And
right. And you don't want to get stuck with 100 of something if you're really only
right.
needing maybe about 10 or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
small businesses are having that problem. They have 5 employees. They need 5 shirts or whatever. They don't need 25. We have been fortunate enough to set up websites through this so that their employees can go through and just automatically order what they need. And then it goes forward.
Well, that is a economically great program for any small business. Like you said, if you only have so many employees and you want everybody to have shirts, that's a great idea. You're not having to order the minimum amount. So I think this is definitely a great.
Another cute key feature that ends this is you can have it shipped to your home.
Oh, wow.
So that is another key feature that this has. So hypothetically, you wanted to give it to mom and mom's in Oregon, you can send it to Oregon.
That's cool. Well, that is, I like that. I like the fact you don't have to order out like so many. So yeah, I think that's a great program that you've got going there. So the next thing is now this is what's interesting. You do wall banners, like wall artwork. So can you give me an example of where you've done some of the wall artwork?
Well, you'll see the beautiful picture up at the top. That's actually our Bell Works facility in Hoffman Estates. They wanted to come up with an area that promotes an artist. So they wanted wall graphics. Now, the pictures you see on the orange wall, those were obviously her art. But the left side says Vita Color. That was me. That was us. We went in, we installed it, we put it up for the day. And you can have that, for example, you have that Century 21 behind your head.
Yes.
So we could do something like that with somebody's logo for their office.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Now there are a couple other items. You do promo items, right? Yeah. So I see you have some promo items here, kind of like maybe run through that.
Well, yeah, our promo items are fun. You can do anything from a bachelor party to the basics. So for example, Bon Appetit is a party we have for our Hoffmans with it's food. It's food like Savour in Schaumburg.
Yeah.
So we made for gift baskets. I made the pot holders and the coasters. For the golf outing, you'll see I made cups for us. On the next thing, there is a write-on wipe-off board that you can order for yourself. You can either put it on the wall, put it diagonal or flat for your own desk. Keep it simple. We have keychains. I had to put the Malort poster because I thought that was funny. Because Malort in Chicago means something. And even for SLSF, we had made coolers for one of their golf outings.
Oh, cool.
So that was a design. And then there was a housing development that wanted their own cups as well as specific printed pictures for their items.
Wow.
So that's just a
Amazing.
little on this particular slide.
Yeah, and then we have some. So on this slide, which gets me, is what is the edibles? Do you have edibles? Edible logos? What is that
Yes,
all about? Yeah,
actually, and you'll hear the dogs behind me.
it's okay.
We can make edible gifts. So you'll see them. Sometimes you'll see the chocolates. The actual package can be logoed, or the package and the inside chocolate can be logoed.
Oh, okay.
Little gifts, like say you want a gift box for Christmas for your corporate company. You need 6 or 10 or whatever it is of logoed box of chocolates, box of pretzels, box of popcorn, the popcorn cans that you've seen for Christmas every year. And so it's just fun, edible stuff, anywhere from cookies to gummy bears.
Oh, wow. You also do like awards, I see.
Yeah, that's a new fun one. And I'll get to this first, but on the next slide, you're going to see a really creative thing we do with awards. So anything from just
Is that
back
the
a
next
second.
slide? Oh, the next slide.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Yeah.
said that. Sorry.
So, no, you're fine. So on the top, you're going to see events. You have an event coming up and it has a special logo. We can do anything from cups to hats to obviously your paper items and your water cups. A lot of the companies have come to us and they have their own special USB drive. What a way to keep your name in front of people. People need a USB, and if your logo's on it, there you go. Otherwise, we can do obviously umbrellas and any other things with just your company logo and the bags. So
yeah, I love that. Love that.
just fun stuff.
All right, I'm gonna go to the next one with your permission.
Yeah.
So this is some other you got envelopes, brochures, flyers. What don't you do?
Well, obviously I put paper last because you think of printer, you think of paper. So anything you can think of, anything from your company checks, I can do. To your stamps, if you do use a stamper for whatever reason, maybe you need something to be stamped in your business. To the basics, your flyers, your business cards, your rack cards, your table tents, gift certificates, and the gift certificate cards. So anything you can think of paper-wise, I've got you.
I love it. You do so much. You really do. And then you've got here, oh, there's even more things you do apparel. Oh my God,
Yeah.
you do t-shirts you do. Oh my gosh. And little like decorative, is that the middle one? Is that like celebratory, like how they have the stands with little like welcome here stands and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
I was fortunate. The bottom corner is a banner we made for our local high school band.
Oh, wow.
Next to it is a retractable, so it'll come into a big case that's basically 4 inches round, square, and you can take that and continually up and down for any event you're in. You can see the beautiful glassware that we have etched, so you can do a logo maybe of a 50-year retiree. The bags, the gifts, the packaging you might need, and the sad part, we do funeral stuff.
Oh,
we've done a lot of brochures and the cards, for funeral stuff, and that's the part where I get involved a lot because it hurts, it's hard, and I want to make sure it's done right.
Yeah.
So
no, that's great.
And then your basic blueprints. And
Awesome.
Getting back to apparel, you'll see obviously the Pope is from Chicago. Well,
Yes.
I made a realtor Pope shirt because apparently his sister wanted a shirt for him because he was the one that sold his house.
Oh, wow. That's
So-
cool. That is, you do amazing work. I mean, you're so involved with the community. I mean, this is just great things to see. And here you do even jackets, coats, and sweaters. I mean, what else do you what else do you do here now? You do all the embroidery, the sewing, and put the logos on?
We work with specific vendors between corporate and Christian and I have had some personal vendors. So we have personal contacts that we work specifically to know that it's right, and they get it. So we can logo your Crocs. The cheerleading shoes, for example, your socks are fun. You'll see the one in the middle says Camden drummer. Well, Christian he's a heavy metal drummer. So obviously we were joking around. We made him a shirt one day.
Oh, wow.
So just fun stuff. Anything from your safety vests we've made hard hats. So the stuff you need for your everyday to promote your business.
That's amazing. Now we have a guest. We have somebody jumping on. Kat Manda. She says hi guys. Love you both. Well, love you too. It's good seeing you join us on our show and that you're listening. I mean, it's been a long minute. We haven't seen you, but I'm glad you're here now. So welcome.
I love you, Kat.
Yeah, she's so sweet. She's such a nice lady. So why don't we go? What is our next? Oh, now here. Tell us about your pups. They're part of your business, right?
Yes, you've probably heard them in the background once or twice.
I think I heard them on this show, a little bark once or twice in the background.
Yep. The more blonde one is Bristol. Her brother is Tucker on the left. He's the one that looks more like the wolf. They are both Shepherd Husky. Both of them are rescues. They were both abandoned out in Bristol was McHenry County and relinquished to obviously animal control, then we work with On Angel's Wings in Crystal Lake. They are a rescue / retail or what is it, thrift store. And that's how we got her. Tucker was found in Oklahoma. So unfortunately, as it all worked out, Tucker was a super chewer when we got him. He was very anxious. He, was very unsettled. So we brought him to the shop thinking that's fine. He'll be with us. He'll realize we're his family and things are good. And it's never ended. So every morning we have our own wake up alarms between them. And we do not walk out the door without them for fear of death.
Well, that's cute. They're your support system at your place of business. So, and I'm sure everybody gets to greet them too.
Oh yeah, Bristol will give you the 22 kisses. They're my doorbells. So you'll hear the deep woofing, and some people are not exactly comfortable with that. And by all means, I can put them away. They know the word place. They know to go to the office, and that's where they're to stay. So they have been trained accordingly.
Oh, that's good.
So we had them trained nearby. And then last but not least, the upper picture, he decided to do a full fish tank. So we do also have a fish tank in the store for the entertainment of children.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're probably all looking at how many fish do you have?
I believe there's 18 tetras. There's 5. They look like mini, I call them the mini catfish. They look like mini catfish. We have 5 large shrimp type looking and 12 orange ones.
Oh my.
And 3 grammies. I do know those ones.
All in one tank?
All in one tank. Jeez. They're all small. None of them are large. It's a freshwater tank that feeds itself. It's all live plants, all live stuff. So it's self-sustaining.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is amazing. So I've got, Kat has jumped on. She is always great to take a minute for you both. So I'm glad that you did. And also, Kat says, I volunteer. Oh, so she has something in common with you. She volunteered there. Both our pups are rescues from On Angel's Wings. It's a small world. You don't really, everybody is so interconnected. So, but as I've had this screen, I just want to let everybody know, I have not taken the screen off while you've been talking. There is a QR code, and that QR code goes directly to Wendy's website at Minuteman Press. So, we'll leave it up for a little bit longer, but you can scan that QR code now. There's going to be a replay, so we're kind of leaving it on a little bit longer. So if people want to scan it, they can go directly to the website and see firsthand what all of the wonderful things that she has to offer at her shop. I mean, everything that she says here. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. You do so many things, and it's not just like you said. It's not just printing brochures or flyers or things like that. It's beyond that. So, yeah, definitely scan the QR code. Anything else that you want to add, Wendy?
Well, we've got two key things. First, if you just look on, say, your Google business page, whatever, you look us up and you find us, you will see different promotions. You will see I list every picture when I can get to it of all the things that we have physically created. Not completely everything. I never get everything, but you get a general overview of the differences that we've done in the directions we've gone. I've been fortunate enough, every month we have what they call a deal of the month.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. What is the deal of the month?
Well, this month is a challenge one. If anyone has ever tried to look for presentation folders, these are a challenge. They're a challenge because they are not reasonably priced. Part of it is what people don't understand. There's a lot of physical employee assembly for anywhere we order them versus doing them in-house. There just is a labor element to them. With that being said, that is actually our deal of the month this month. So it's 250 custom folders, and you're going to save over $200. Normally that's around $7.95, and I want to say they're $4.95. Of course, every deal's got a little stipulation. So they're 9x12, which are typical, 2 to 4 pocket folders. You'll have a semi-gloss, which is what they call a CS1 12 point. So that's just your quality of paper. And then one-sided prints. We're not printing on both sides.
Okay.
And it's as basic as they come. And it will come with a business card holder. So that will be in there too, to add that. And the nice part about any deal of the month is that it's not only going to be good for December, it's going to carry over to January too.
Awesome.
And every month is a different one. I posted you'll see our pages between LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook. I do post them there, but you'll find them on our website. They're always listed on the website. So it's anything from 1 month it's pens, the next month it could be shirts. It changes.
Well, that's great information, and we'll all have to tune in for that special of the month. So So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close down the presentation. And then what I just want to do is I want to say, Wendy, thank you so much for, I'm glad that you said, hey, can I be on your live stream? I'm like, anybody who wants to be on my live stream, all you got to do is give me a call and we'll set up a time to meet, kind of run through like we did. We ran through a little bit about how we want to do our presentation. I show you what I do, and then you decide if it's good enough for you. If it is, then we meet again and we really kind of have a nice talk about you, your business, and a little bit about your business and fun facts about your business. I mean, I try to get to know you and your business on a more personal level. And then, we meet and we go live. I mean, Wendy, let me know, how was your experience on this live stream?
No, I think it's great because I think that unfortunately, knowledge is power. People don't know a lot about print. I didn't know a lot about print as I found as things have gone on. I've clearly found out a lot about print. But knowledge is power. You need to know. We love being part of the community and helping when we can and doing anything we can. Just small businesses are the key. It's a family. That's the only way to work it.
It is. Well, Wendy, if you wouldn't mind giving us your information, your, place of business, name business, where you're located, also, all your good stuff, phone number, website, and email.
So basically our website is he.minutemanpress.com. Our email is very unique. It's literally the word email. at minutemanpress.com. Phone number 847-839-9600. And for ease sake, we're at the corner of Higgins and Barrington Road.
And again, I'm going to do just one last check. I think we've hit every comment that has come through. And I just want to say, if there is something that was out on a post, I mean, and you have a question, we'll go back to the different social media platforms and be sure to get your question answered. Again, Wendy, thank you so much for being on this episode of Meet the Expert on the Block. It was a joy to have you, and you have such great information. So thank you.
Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate it.
Not a problem whatsoever. I enjoyed it. And for our next one, see, remember I told you I forgot to bring it, but I found it on my calendar. So what we're going to be doing is, and this is going to be a good one because we're going to have Tom Cunningham. He is the president of the Schaumburg AM Rotary Club. He is going to be doing Meet the Expert on the Block, and he's going to be telling a little bit about what we do. I mean, I am a member of the Schaumburg AM Rotary Club, but I thought it would be great to have him be here to tell us a little bit more about things that we do as far as our organization. I know it's embedded in my head. We raise money to give it away, but I want Tom to talk more about it because he's such a great guy. He really is. So we're going to have him, and that'll be, mark your calendars. That's going to be January 7th. It's on a Wednesday, and we always go live at 5. So until we meet again. Oh yes. Wendy, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. And I look forward to seeing everybody next year on January 7th at 5 p.m. So until next time, we'll see you then. Thanks, everybody, for joining us, and happy holidays.
Thank you.